Well, hello there. This is the account from Sesame Street. We are going to have the cryptos on the show. One crypto, two crypto, Wait a minute. No, hey folks, it's Top Gun here, and I got a good one for you. And yeah, we are actually going to talk about two other cryptos. They're not HEX, they're altcoins. If you don't like that, tune off. Go away. Goodbye. Goodbye. So long. Don't let the door hit ya. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna do my normal market charts, and then we're gonna deep dive into some cryptos. Yeah, while I talk about these. So, what's been going on in the markets? I got a little quiet on Twitter because it's not the bull market again. Yes, it's crypto spring. That means I'm pretty sure the bottom might actually be in because everyone's convinced it isn't. Like, the market, by contrary, usually, I mean, the resistances were broken. They're gone. The bulls have the advantage right now in Bitcoin. This is currently the bull trend. As much as I hate to say it. And it's not incredibly fast. Like, hey, we get into December, you guys might get another 10% up in 4 weeks. But that's looking more like a possibility. Even if there's a hard correction, I'm less confident it's going to come under 20. I'm starting to think that the decorrelation is starting to happen in a way that, some insane sailors buying in like MicroStrategies might have altered the bear market. I mean, what if the bear market did actually start on the first peak, and the second peak was nothing but an overdrawn rally because of MicroStrategies and other hijinks? And what if their continual buying to stop themselves from being liquidated has propped up the price beyond its 85% normal correction? Because it's not normal for that much institutional money to be acting so lavishly on an asset. What if it is done? I mean, what if it is? Because we look over at Ethereum and, oh, yeah, Ethereum has cracked over its resistance too, and is starting some bull trends. May have room to correct down past these, but this is still an overall bullish trend underneath that hasn't been broken. And I think I haven't drawn that for Bitcoin, but I'm starting to get to the point where, I'm not sure the pain is in the way that everyone thinks the 11K and pray. Like, wouldn't it be funny if it doesn't happen? Because everyone thought it would. I mean, the market does love to always be contrary to sentiment. And the whole time I started buying up because I was like, maybe this is the end. Why would I think that? I mean, I look at market correlation all the time. And right now, I'm finally tuned on to lumber. Now, lumber made a higher low today. A little bit of fighting back. We'll have to see what happens on Monday. But I'm starting to think there's more of a bull's case than people realize. The bond market even made a lower high. These are stability indicators for the economy and the market. And if they're starting to click back onto normal and the dollar finally tapped out, we'll see. This is one hell of a nasty correction, but I'm tracking a bull flag at the moment to see what happens to the dollar at the end of it. Into December, near the next FOMC meeting. Isn't that coincidentally cute? Now, all of the big caps, Netflix, Tesla, and Apple, are down. Schmuckers. That's right. Schmuckers Jam Company and General Mills. They make food. They're doing just fine. So is Boston Dynamics and Lockheed Martin. There are recession-resistant names, but I don't like stocks because you don't even own your stocks. That's the problem. Not your keys, not your crypto, not your bonds or stocks. You don't own the physical copies. You own an IOU from your broker. And little do you know, they don't own the copies. They have an IOU from some distributor. And they may not even own the copies. They may have an IOU from a wholesaler. Oh, yeah. So it's a bunch of IOUs floating around that sometimes aren't in order. As in, oh, we sold 120 shares of this, but we only only had 100. Oopsie doodle. You don't really own your shares. You're told you do. You hope you can cash out. As long as the liquidity is there. But that's true with any asset. Hoping the liquidity is there. And I like assets that have good reason for liquidity to be there. Such as high value names. So I keep a track on high valued stocks and resistant names. I keep a track on all these indicators. Oil to track inflation. Look at that heading up. That means inflation is still going to continue rising because it broke out of its bear trend. That's a bull trend on inflation. If inflation and commodities are going up and Bitcoin is treated like a commodity and even copper is surging up, which usually is, for me, a side baseline for economic growth potential. That's why I think lumber is going to turn around, because copper is doing its thing. So, yeah, I think lumber has some room to turn over, and if that happens, I still think a winter rally is on, and the market doesn't even care about the Fed because the Treasury is going to do kabuki, buying up bonds and stabilizing the market, and everything's been oversold for far too long. And then the final clincher, BNB, Binance Scam Chain. Look at this. Let's get to the daily on this. Okay, folks? Let's look at the macro, not the micro. Gotta see the forest for the trees, not the trees for the forest here. Excuse me. So that's the peak beginning of the bear market. And Binance, oh, look, that was their all-time high back here in May of 21. And that means all of this was bear market, including this double top, which wasn't a double top in BNB. And then the continuation of the bear market, it popped from here up. Because this, June, from this, May, oh, that's over a year. Traditional crypto bear market. Now, as we see in Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin trades sideways. Ouch, kabibble. Ethereum has done a stepping up to be like, yo, we're kind of calling BS, but look at the angle on BNB. It's the one that's actually been cracking its indicators first. And even when it cracked this one, I'm like, okay, let me double this and make it a straight channel like the other ones look like. And then it even cracked that. And so what if this is the lead indicator here that's telling us, yeah, crypto springs here and price is going to stabilize somewhere between the peaks, between, I'm thinking, this peak and this peak, not the all-time highs. So we might get a mid-stabilize and sideways action while altcoin spring is popping away and people are buying in and trading out of the layer 1 assets. And Bitcoin, the old man in the room, finally responds. And yeah, we start to see a rally. And that might be even help kick off consumer sentiment and some faith in the market. Because although look at these big caps, the SPX is actually trading up. The SPY is trading up. The NASDAQ is trading up. I know, that looks pretty gruesome. But that's where, oh wait, but crypto is looking better. Remember the NASDAQ? I was freaking out about the correlation as it crashed. Well, it's crashing and stabilizing, but oh, when we compare that, that's right, to Bitcoin, it's looking a lot better these days. A lot less correlated. Yeah, a little reshuffling in the ETFs might have happened there. And that's where I think things are freaking up, and this is where crypto might start acting like more like a commodity and more like an inflation hedge. And while all of this has been going on, while BNB has been sleeping kind of quietly going up, well, funny enough, that's where our altcoins, the first one that I love here, internet money. I go on about it constantly. And if I scroll back here, like this chart, let's forget that first stupid wick. There we go. This chart is 11 months, 5 days. It's almost at its 1 year. And over the entire bear market, in 1 year, that red line has never been violated. That is a bull trend. Would it make it feel a little better if I made the bull trends green? To kind of indicate that's the upward momentum that has not stopped all year long, regardless of trading above that green line. Anything coming close to that, oh, have those been buy opportunities that I've enjoyed? Maybe. Now, funny enough, back here, IM was practically just a meme coin. Just the equivalent of an ERC20 with no use, trillions of tokens on BNB. But there was a dream wrapped around it, the dream of a wallet. And there also was some interesting game mechanics where they were trying a deflationary token that got a vote to burn, a gimmick, which I thought was interesting and an interesting game theory. It allowed you to kind of gauge your customer sentiment too by how they vote on the asset. I thought it was pretty interesting. I may have ranted quite a bit about the buy burn about Pulse X. I don't know, maybe you've seen a video or two where I've done some math. Maybe they have too. So maybe they thought that the buy and burn from the wallet dividends from that Pulse X math would be pretty handy to apply to this token. Maybe they made that decision around here. So the first sacrifice happened, and it started pumping up as interest came in. Oh yeah. And then we had our bear market correction. And now a second sacrifice is coming for all other EVM chains other than Pulse. Well, at least Binance and Ethereum, and then possibly future ones with a future token. It's all complicated, goodness. But IM is still the same token. It's an immutable smart contract, except, fun enough, they have burned so much of it. Over 410 trillion out of the 420 trillion. So it's down to a 9 trillion token. Half of that is dedicated for small amounts to be given away with new wallets. And the rest is divided in over 1,044 holders now. It broke 1,000. The holders literally only shows you the top 1,000. Like, there are people that can't even view themselves on BSC scan. Wow. I feel original in this. So it's been fun watching this, and I drop hints about it because it's not HEX. The liquidity is so small, 41k. Anyone can come by and, like, I can drop the price. Like, not that much, I wish, but, like, anyone can come by and dump on this price pretty easily with liquidity being this low. But look, 260 billion in here. So to drop price down by 75%, you'd have to drop the same amount of IM into the pool. Another 264 billion. Not too many wallets can do that. So, but that's not a lot of liquidity. But also by the same token, somebody comes along and goes, yeah, you know what, this is interesting. I'm going to give these guys one heck of a payday just for fun because I've got FU money and wants to drop 41k in there. Well, the price suddenly 4x's to 6 zeros and a 6 instead of a 1 5. Like, bam. Like, what? Yeah, the price pretty much makes an all-time new high with just $41,000 of buy pressure. Now, whether that comes from one person with FU money or a bit of market interest around a new sacrifice, there's definitely some interest, and I imagine this is going to do well. And then after that happens and the sacrifice, oh, well, you got another dip. I expect it to bounce off this green line or even higher up because it's now crypto spring and not a bear market, so I'm gonna get bullied as bad. Oh, and then as long as you buy it and hold it, when the wallet actually comes out, you're gonna get a free copy of it on Pulse Chain. Oh, and a free copy of it on Ethereum. 2 free copies. That's right, an instant 3x, 3 times your money from 3 different liquidity pools on 3 different chains just for holding on to it. Oh, but wait, there's more. And once that wallet token with the WD launches, where it pays dividends from the native chains in Ethereum, BNB, or Pulse, then some of those fees are going to be used to buy up the IM on those native chains. So they're all going to be buying and burning, like the Pulse X. Now, the wallet may not have as much adoption. It's a smaller project, so it may take longer for that buy and burn to get powerful. That just means more accumulation time. I have been enjoying my accumulation. Anything pretty much under this price line right here, which we're very close to breaking. And I'm not kidding. I'll be quite honest. I have been buying since here all all the way through, all the way through, all the way through. Okay, I stopped when it ran up here, but as soon as it came down, yep, and now I'm kind of tapped out because little increments, $5, $10. That's all I got, really. And then I've got to also admit something about these guys. Let's go to their website and have a look. So you guys know I'm an admin in their chat. I have never been paid. There's no contract, no agreement. I'm not a lawyer. But let's go ahead and have a look here at their sacrifice. So I understand. Continue. I did not read that disclaimer. Sacrifice for the freedom of time. Oh yeah, in 24 days. Okay, cool. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm not a financial advisor. I love this token, so I'm talking about here what they're planning on doing. And the other thing that I really love about it is, check it out. Calculate pool A for points for getting into their pool A. If you were around for the first one, you know what this is about. If you weren't, their website's full of details. But this is the point that I love. Their calculator for pool B. It's very complicated, convoluted math. I absolutely hate it. And they didn't even, like, how do we even code this? It's like, you shouldn't. That's horrible math. So I coded up for them in like 20 minutes. Then I realized, oh wait, they're not going to use this coding language. So I broke out some if statements. So it is powered by Top Gun, which takes you to my Twitter. Oh my god, that is so cool. I get some credit. For my coding. I love it. No, I'm not a dev, and no, I won't program for you. Well, these guys are cool, and the sacrifice, yeah, that math, I was like, okay, I can code the math. That's all I was doing, was making an equation for this. It was 10 if statements. They, however, had to spend hours translating it into the programming languages they're using, but to make sure it was, no exploits and everything else. All those security things I don't worry about. There's a tweet I made which is very funny. Train going down one track and then it goes down halfway down 2 tracks. Like when my code works mysteriously, but still works. My first bit of math trying to do that in one code, like it worked, but they couldn't copy it. They couldn't make it work elsewhere, so they had to use the native file I made. Oh, what a mess. I'm not a dev. They worried about making it secure, because that's what they're doing, making the wallet very, very secure so you can trust it and easily use it. And the public beta will be available next or soon. I'm not sure on the exact date. It should be right around the sacrifice start. I may have a private beta. That the wallet? That's not the wallet, that's the wallet. Yes, that's the spoiler, where I have a private beta where I can try to break this thing. I'm not allowed to show it off yet because they're still making adjustments. Like, but we're not pretty enough yet. We're still doing our makeup. You can't. We're not ready for company. Ugh, fine. So all I get to do is tease this. There's a button in my browser that works. Look at that. Yep. There's a wallet. So they've been actually coming along with the work they've been promising. And the swap fees from this wallet, not an imaginary maybe, this thing. When people use this and make swaps in it, some of that fee will buy this up. It'll buy it, and it'll burn it, just like all the other burnt tokens, so that it can never be sold on your head. So one token in this system pays dividends, WD. That's the one the sacrifice is for. Right, sorry, the freedom of time. Because you have a lot of free time if you're being paid dividends. Good ones, anyway. And then, yeah, also the art of a buyback and burn applied to the token. So a 2-token system. And I mean, potentially future things could even happen to this. That's why there's a future token. It's so cool, the things that they're thinking of and building, because it's not just a MetaMask wallet. It's not just about displays. It's about utility, about having more functionality and making it easy. They're worried about lingo, rewriting everything so it's user-friendly, like your seed phrase, like your security key, also known as seed phrase. Make it more important. Somehow change the lingo around. Different things that they're thinking of to try and onboard the new user. They're not going to try and steal other users. They want to bring on new people to crypto. And if they're failing at that, that's at least the honest failure. They're not ripping anyone off. They're not trying to make any false promises. They're not trying to steal people. But conveniently, if this wallet is that good to use, it might be better than MetaMask eventually. That would be the amazing dream that it replaced it. Not saying it will. That's a very big, tall order. A lot of other wallets have come out and not even be able to get close. But even to be able to get a small piece of the pie and get some new users on and bring them into Pulse Chain, because it's still a primary vehicle to promote Pulse. That's their idealism. They still very much believe in Richard Hart. This is why it's easy for me to talk about them, even though they're an altcoin, and I know I lose some viewers every time I talk about an altcoin. Oh, and I should also do security. Look at that update. I didn't even notice that. Doo-doo. There we go. Yes, even in middle of the video, never a wrong time to update your security. You should always be up to date on your security. Those patches, zero-day exploits, all sorts of a mess. That I'll tell you, that's not financial advice. It's just smart. Always do your security updates, folks. It's a good idea. And then also this weekend, I gotta say, I gotta have some fun. That's right, I got myself a Trezor. I'm gonna migrate off Linux for a Linux box. Stop using that complicated setup, and just use a hardware wallet. Because I finally was able to afford one and get one, do all the rigmarole. And then take the time to basically purchase some Bitcoin and send it, because my credit card doesn't work over there. Oh man, the crypto world is funny. So that, yeah, I work 9 to 5. I get very tired, very injured. I'm very sore tonight. So yeah, it took me this long to get the time to do this, because I already had Linux set up when it first came to crypto. So that was an easier thing for security wise to be like, my seeds for phrase is safe on this thing. But yeah, to have a wallet on Trezor, that's ideal. That is ideal. So I am setting that up, but I digress. So yeah, internet money, I think I have pretty much kissed but oh, here's the thing. So since I did that coding and they put the Powered by Top Gun, I should disclose here, beyond my bias of openly admitting I have sacrificed in the first sacrifice. I have bought in to be, a participant in the first 1,000 holders of this token. I am biased that I wanted to succeed because I've invested in it, but also I may have received a $250 tip in USDC. I didn't ask for anything for my programming. I did that for free. So that's where I can only classify this as a tip. I say thank you to KG, and then I turned around and I bought some Ethereum to end stake later on, and some more HEX. Okay, maybe this video is a little bit about HEX. I've got a pretty big holding, and I mean, it gets enough attention. HEX didn't get enough attention really recently, so that and it was USDC on that chain, so it was just convenient. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at that price and I'm thinking, HEX under 4 cents, mysterious USDC. Not so mysterious, thank you. But yeah. All right, some more HEX and some more Ethereum for end staking. Winning. So I wasn't going to pay fees to move it from chain to chain to go buy this on Binance Scam Chain. I've already bought enough of it on Binance Scam Chain. I'm already in. And as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I'm a broke pleb. You guys hear I'm constantly trying to put together $25 a week to put into crypto. So yeah, you got your love for now. Thanks for the money. That was some lovely HEX under 4 cents. Oh, I love when that happens. Price gone up. Yeah, my portfolio is not only no longer on fire, and not only breaking even, it's actually up 10% or 12%. When I add my portfolio together, I'm like, no way. I'm not on fire. I'm in profit. This DCA stuff is working. Ha! Oh man, I thought I was crazy. I mean, I sound crazy. You guys know I sound crazy. You probably tune in for the crazy sounding when I talk to myself or imaginary audience members like you. But yeah, apparently this DCA stuff is working, because every rally my portfolio goes, it stops being on fire. In this rally, it's like, oh, wait, what? No. So I'm in this disbelief phase. And again, when we look at the psychology chart, go to Wall Street psychology chart. Oh, fine, I'll Google it for you, folks. Let's get a picture up here. Wall Street psychology. Cheat sheet. Perfect. Images. And give us a nice big old version. Here we go. So, yep, top, bear market. Now, imagine where my mouse is going here, that this is a weird, funky double top that took till here to get. Now, I've been angry. I've been depressed. This right here, the blue spot, disbelief and hope. I know I'm emotionally in this spot. And I'm buying, but I'm in disbelief. So, yeah, I believe this chart has some merit, and I believe the chart, the whole double top thing might have been artificial. Wouldn't it be interesting if there was a rally that was going to take crypto out of the bear market, even if stocks and the rest of the world is having a bit of trouble? People might take haven in the normal crypto cycle and hedge a little bit, because there's still a lot of money in the system. It didn't all disappear when stocks went down. Like, we lost $1 trillion in crypto. No, it's all liquidity pools and market caps, which is like projectors at a movie theater and video screens. The market cap is just an illusion out there on the screen. Everything's happening in the projector. Everything's happening in the liquidity pool. The money, the million or billions that amplify to make $1 trillion, like a few billion in liquidity or several billion in liquidity, makes trillions of market cap. Well, that billions, but it just got pulled out. It's in people's pockets waiting to go back in. And so this is the moment of truth where we're going to see if crypto is going to break away from the recessionary market or even lead the recessionary market out. Maybe I have too much hope, but BNB is really showing off. So I'm very happy with IM. I'm happy I've gotten the chances to get in, and I'm happy I get to talk about it. And then something else we're going to have a look at tonight. I'm going to throw this in the video while I'm at it, because I'm not an expert in this. But if we're going to talk about alternate cryptos, I might as well get this out of the way all in one video. And then I can get back to HEX and Pulse Chain talk as per normal. So here we're going to have a look at Chia. You guys have heard me make these jokes and stuff. This is not for buying. Okay, this is not a price go up thing. This is a hobby. Chia.net. So what is Chia? Well, if you know what BitTorrent was, and you know what Bitcoin is, and you imagine the two of them got together and were locked in a closet all night with a bunch of booze, and then 9 months later had a baby, it would be Chia.net. And also Microsoft Excel might have gotten into the mix somehow. Okay, what are you talking about? Oh, God, this makes no sense. No, it doesn't, because it's proof of space and time. Have you ever seen Doctor Who? They literally have Time Lords, and I'm not joking. This is a hobby project. It's not a price go up project. So how do I describe this? So Bitcoin is a ledger. That's all it does. Can't be anything more, anything less. It's a ledger. Ethereum is a ledger with layers. You can add side ledgers to that ledger. You can do that in the form of secondary chains or just adding tokens to smart contracts. But this layer 1, Chia, has a token where its coin is the smart contract, and the smart contract is the coin. So each coin is its own smart contract. So if there are 1,000 coins in existence, there are 1,000 smart contracts. That's it. And if you want to build something on Chia, you have to have a coin, because you have to transform that coin into what you're building. And that's how you kind of pay for it. So farming Chia is surprisingly interesting because of the proof of space and time instead of proof of work. So let's start there. Well, actually, let's start back. All right, so I said Bitcoin, and so BSL or BSL signatures, they use a cryptography signing which is not exactly Bitcoin's, but was based off of Bitcoin, Satoshi's original. There's been some changes to it. And so with that, we've got our Bitcoin element. And now torrent, the way this indexes all through HTTPs, just like a torrent does. You notice how quickly you connect to peers and seeds so easily you reinference through data. There's not the same hang up with all the validators like you get with only so many transactions per second on an EVM chain. So yeah, the indexing is done like the torrent website through HTTP algorithm. So this just means that basically there are thousands and thousands of validators, and it's incredibly fast and low power consumption. Like, it's not a problem to interact with the network and get validated very quickly. No hang up on transaction time. And wow. So those are great design elements, but some of what they're doing requires new math. It's not completely done. It's like a Solana. It's work in progress. All right. And then so they have their own programming language, Lisp. Very cool that they have Lisp. Lisp is like Microsoft in the Excel in the fact that your data and your code can exist in the same layer. Now, devs right now know what I'm talking about, but people don't. Generally in software, you have to write a list of instructions, very, very specifically. And those instructions interact and take data from point A and turn it into data at point B, and you're done. But when you're working in Microsoft Excel, well, you can have your data set and your code side by side, and then you can run more code afterwards and more data, and you can cross-link things in a weird chaos of ways that you can't normally do without looking like you're insane and doing like hard drugs while coding. Like, man, this is really great. I need to code some more. Ah! So I shouldn't probably do that. It's going to get my channel banned. Anyway, the point is, like, if things are really messed up, it's usually pretty hard to follow. So Lisp, however, has an interesting structure, apparently. I haven't dove into it, but it runs more like Microsoft Excel than Solidity, where you write the code, where you have to interact with the smart contract, where everything's very laid out and logical. So, yeah, this is an interesting concept, but now we like pump go up, price go up. Like, we're from the HEX community mostly, or finance, wherever you found me. I have quite an interesting collection of viewers here. Thank you all for your support. I love the fact that you all tune in for all this information. I have some real regulars that constantly excuse me, show me some real support that make me feel really appreciated. It keeps me doing this. It gives me motivation to know that you guys actually want to know what I'm going to say next, what I'm thinking about this stuff. Like, all right, maybe I should bring some opinions. So this is for a hobby because price don't go up. Because you can't make a new coin. Like I said, you have to take a Chia coin and turn it into something else. You can't have something like HEX because you can't have inflation. A DEX can't really work because, again, you're trading coins for coins. You can't have other coins. I mean, you can try and turn the Chia coin into another coin, but open source, somebody else can replicate it. There's no reason to trade. Like, there's so weird kind of barriers to the concept of the tokenomics of the chain that kind of like Bitcoin, it's like, well, Chia is mostly the only token. Mostly, I say, because you can still take a Chia token and reassess it into, say, 10,000 tokens, little mini ones, worth that value of a Chia token. But instead, NFTs. Okay, so they're getting their NFT game way up there. And okay, they're trying to bid for the climate oh wow, I can't even remember, I'm so tired from the week of work. The climate tokens or climate credits, yeah, whatever, the carbon credits, that's it, for climate change. Wow, I can think, I promise I can. Yeah, they're bidding for that, and it looks like they might catch it. Like, the technology might want to be traded using this infrastructure. That doesn't mean it necessarily will have this token. Like, there are some spin-offs of this, but all in all, it's an interesting thing if you're a dev and want to go program, and it's an interesting thing if you want a hobby. Because the way you used to be able to mine Bitcoin way back in the day, just on your spare space on your video card, when somebody tried to convince me to do it, but I thought I'd be breaking the law because I'm like, you can't print free money, that'll get us in trouble. I didn't understand how liquidity pools worked. I know you wouldn't think it considering the math I did at the very beginning of my channel months ago, but yeah, that's how it works. So with Chia, man, excuse me, folks. Oh, there, that's a chunk of drywall. That feels better. Oh, much better. And I'm sure you guys love the foghorn. Yeah, I'm not editing it out. That's right. Alright, so with all this talk, you can go check out the white paper. You can read some of the jokes, some of the thoughts. It's quite a cerebral thing. The community is overly friendly, and it's kind of blending with the HEX community. We're getting along because they're not trying to scam us, and we're not trying to scam them. We all love technology, but they're not about price go up. And hey, that doesn't mean we can't kind of chill. I mean, we're not from the same exact mindset, but we got enough views in common that I don't mind talking about this, because, again, it's not about going to buy this stuff. Like, you can, but the price has done what some other coin has done the whole way down, because when this first started, there was already people trying to get it pre-orders, and then there was only one token. Then there was only two. Well, that demand high, supply low, price went up. So price started very, very high, but then people have been mining it, and it's come down. Kind of makes sense. That's how it works. And so I don't know where the bottom is in this. I won't claim to. And there's no fancy DeFi, getting paid, all the stuff that we love about Pulse Chain, all the tokenomics, all the reinvention of finance. No, that's not here. This is about reinvention at the base layer. What this could do, in theory, is allow a bridge that might actually be more secure, that would allow cross-chain communication between EVM chains. Make it all one giant Web3 instead of one trying to take over completely as opposed to the rest. That would be the kind of future like Quant was trying to do. But I mean, it's very hard to do. They're trying to make something like a TCP/IP protocol for the internet. I don't think they're coming along. Chia is not trying to do this, but accidentally, sometimes by discovery by accident, I believe this technology may have a better base layer for doing something like that. So if this interests you, connecting all the EVM chains, not price go up, but making things, this might be a side project to get involved in. Now, if, again, that hobby, like mining Bitcoin, just in case price does go up, if you have a spare hard drive, proof of space and time, take a little time to do all your homework on a Friday, man, so you can party all Saturday, like Wayne would say from Wayne's World. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. Well, what it basically does is you set your computer up, you download Chia, really nice, simple, and easy. Oh, look, yeah, Ubuntu, Centros, Windows. Pretty easy. I download for Windows. Pretty easy to set up. I already have mine installed. And it's incredibly easy to index mines. So, yeah, I can ignore that. Where's the Chia? I guess I gotta type the Chia. Oh, there's the Chia. It's not like I put many programs on this. It's just a Windows computer for YouTube and gaming, but I don't even game. Look at that. Starting services. Starting a wallet. Because, yeah, Chia has a 24-word wallet, but you can't use hardware wallets with this. It's not EVM compatible. You can't use your Trezor. So you're going to have to write it down old school, and you should use a Ubuntu computer because you're going to have to type it out. But you can install it on Windows. You can get a wallet title number, wallet code, all that good jazz. And then farming. It's so easy. And plots. Plotting manager and farming. So you add plot. Add plot. And then all you do. Now, I was recommended that Mad Max is a little bit faster. I've got the CPU for it, but not the hard drive space, because you do need about a quarter of a gig free on your local drive. Recommended to make this go fast. Proof space is the basic. Blade bit, not the one I was recommended. Mad Max, though, I was recommended. So I would set that. Done. Next step, plot size. This is basic set, 100 megabytes. So it writes one plot at a time. You need about double the space and a little extra to write each one. But then you can send it to another whole other hard drive. As it's writing this, it's making hashes. 100 megabytes worth of hashes. Proof of work hashes. But it's making them all up front and then storing them to a hard drive so they can be drawn randomly later. Like a bingo call or lottery call. So instead of racing, the more hard drives you have, spare ones from work or whatever that you've wiped, they're completely clean, they're almost garbage. Just if you want to hook them up and they're low power, for almost no power, hook up those hard drives and you can plot these things. And just let them sit connected to your computer, trying to win bins to earn chia. So how many plots do you want to make? You could make just one, but there are people that are they're using quadribytes. Wow, I'm not even sure. 1,000 terabytes is a cutabyte? No, man, quite a byte. I gotta look that up. Yes, I knew at some point that would be important in my diction, but just not yet. Petabytes, that's right. So anyway, point is, some people have a lot of plots, but you choose your plot, how many you're going to make at a time. Select a temporary directory. It recommends the fast one on your local drive. Recommend a fast drive. And then a separate drive recommended, but you can do it on the same one, as a final directory to move the plot to, all those hashes. You can join a pool, but there's some argument that might be a security thing, and you might actually earn less than when you randomly draw the lottery. So, you click on Create. It's that simple. Once you click on Create, it brings you over to plots. And as you can see, I have 0 plots yet. But I did have a drive connected, like plots failed to open. I have to connect the drive to show the plots. They're not even done indexing, because I have my resource allocation all messed up, and I gotta do some things because I like to mess around with things like I'm a dev. I know just enough to be dangerous. I am not a dev, though. So this is Chia. Make a wallet. This is their interface for their wallet. You can host a full node if you want. That's a whole nother matter to you. But farming it just means, yeah, you let your computer index for days or weeks, and then it's done. And then it just runs for years, taking bids, trying to win Chia coins and hashes for writing blocks as the chain gets worked on. So nothing major, no promises of price go up, just a hobby. An interesting hobby on the side while we're bored, waiting for the HEX bull run that's coming in the Pulse chain launch that we've all been waiting for so long. Oh man, I mean, I was in preschool when I sacrificed. Look at me now, look at the gray hair. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed a little deviation from normal. So yeah, I will talk about Chia because it's not about the price up. It's not about going and buying it. It's just about playing it and trying to actually earn some, maybe selling it. Just maybe you want to build an NFT out of it, and instead of buying some, you can farm some. Okay, this is what free crypto is supposed to look like. This is what free crypto adoption is supposed to look like. If you want to get technical about it. Not infinite minting and transfer of wealth for Ethereum holders and every other layer 1 chain holder. I mean, I'll rejoice when it comes to Pulse chain for my bags going up, but not for the poor people involved. I'll still be screaming on the streets like a guy wearing a sandwich board. The end is nigh, don't waste it. Now, it might have value in the future, but it have value the same way. Like, I mean, if you think that, why not just go buy on some Luna B? There's almost just enough of the classic. It's stupidly, ridiculously cheap. It overinflated, and at least it has more of a consistent uptrend over there. Since they reset the chart and don't want to show you the fact that it literally had a 1,000,000x downward trend. Like, that's where people were like, is this the first one you ever saw? I'm like, no, Luna was. But that other one is tried hard. It's like, really? I mean, if you're going to throw your money away, might as well throw it in here. At least I have some of this to rain on your head. In other words, don't. I don't know. Do whatever you want. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm not buying any of this. I bought it when it crashed so I could make some quick cash because I swung trade. And I tell you, never ever swing trade. I don't swing trade. Usually. It was an extraordinary circumstance. Okay? It bottomed out and I had to write it down. You can go watch the video. It's still on YouTube. You can see what I went through. And yeah, I told people to get out when like the price was approximately here. Way back, because the price went down and stayed down for months. And then when it came out, it still was under. And I was like justified until the end of August. I was justified for telling everyone to get out when we all jumped into the burning building. I'm sure we all kept a little souvenir, but even then, like, pennies in front of freight trains, like, went up and then it's going down. Maybe it'll have another up. It's a scam coin. It failed. Like, only dummies are playing in this, and so some people can take dummy money, but I wouldn't recommend this at all. Like, I don't recommend other things. I track these too for a little bit of a lark. Like, okay, it's setting a new, trying again. We'll see what this is doing, but okay, I own a little bit of this, just a little couple satoshis, like I'm talking $10. Yeah, I need some of this to end stake my HEX, which exists on that chain. So obviously I own this, and then I'm too broke for a lot of HEX stakes. So I own this, which is a 15-year HEX stake, and I own this, which is a 10-year HEX stake. And then I own some of this because I bought it on the dip, because I was figuring I don't have very big stakes, I'm not going to get a lot minted. And then I got this for free for having HEX stakes. And then I got this for free for sacking. Yeah, it's an ugly chart, but it's still worth more than the gas I used to mint it. And yeah, I got this for free for holding HEX stakes, and for getting into sacrifices around pulse sacks. So yeah, wonderful things. And then this, well, as I've talked about, it seems to be in the lead, and this other asset of mine is quietly camping out on that chain. So yeah, this is my alt chain little look at. I'm still thinking we got to keep a close eye on lumber and bonds, but if Monday they start going up, we got some stabilization and grounds for a rally to still exist, where the market's not going to care what the Fed's doing because of what Treasury is doing and because of just market conditions in general. Over agitated for far too long psychologically. I think some of the big extenders are bored and ready to get back in. I think that's kind of how crypto spring happens. So I'm glad that I haven't been wasting any time DCAing in. I might have been broke during the June bottom, but I called it out for everyone. And then when we got close to it again, I wasn't completely broke, so I have been DCAing in. Yeah, and I'm glad. And I'm glad I've been yelling it at the top of my lungs on this channel, because I don't really want more subscribers, but at the same rate, I'm like, I want people getting good information, and I'm trying to give good information, and I'm constantly willing to adapt my information, because it's the truth I'm after. And if you see that I've made a mistake, a critical one, that's not just like a carry the one because I'm doing math in my head, please let me know. Like, I have to make an amendment to my death of Bitcoin, because the halvings, I assume they happened every year. On my death of Bitcoin, I tracked 15 halvings, which was not 15 years into the future. So some of my math is skewed. That's more like 60, but I mean all of those 15 years pretty much were very scary. Like, and I pointed out that last year things were already going wrong. It just means that hairy scary, though. I'm correcting myself here. No one even pointed out that my math, the halvings, I wasn't aware that they're every 4 years. So unless they change those, yeah, my 15-year roadmap of gloom and doom, make it a 60-year roadmap. Okay? Maybe I'll go back and re-update the math at some point. Either way, I still think like Bitcoin needs to do some serious changes. We're going to see a lot more bankruptcies. Ever since I released that video, lots of Bitcoin bankruptcies. Miners going bankrupt. We're not even trying. I doubt they saw my video, but the timing is just funny. So I laugh about it privately. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything, folks. I can't encourage you enough to get a hardware wallet, do Treasure, because it's simpler than Linux. If you want to do Ubuntu and get into Chia, there are links on my How to Pulse link, which I always drop in the video at the bottom of the descriptions. So you can go download Ubuntu and you can go order a Treasure. There's nothing there for Chia though. That you got to do on your own accord, because I'm a Hexagon. I believe in RH products, but Bram Cohen is, I think, a close kind of runner-up. Not sure how secure it is, and again, it's not about price go up. It's about the hobby. Maybe like the same way, like, dude, you could only buy this coin on Wizards of the Coast if you're playing Magic the Gathering, which I played. Which again, ironic that I don't own any, but it is what it is. So I mean, at one point, it wasn't about price go up, and that was probably the best time ever to get involved and mine it. Not even buy it, just mine it. So hey, I don't know. Chia might not be anything because, like I said, there's limitations to the tokenomics. But then again, something else that shouldn't be anything has gotten some adoption, and I've seen there's been money flowing through the liquidity pools, and the craziest things get adopted occasionally. So I'm not going to limit my viewers from something that isn't a scam, or at least an outright scam. Like, no, this technology's good, so I'll talk about it. I'm not buying any. I might be mining some, but I'm not buying any. Like, I'll talk about what I'm doing, and hey, it's your choice. You're listening to me for whatever reason. You can look and make your own assumptions based off the information I give you. Maybe you think I'm totally wrong, and maybe I am. But hopefully you can see why with me explaining all my reasons, and with that, you can make your own financial decisions and do some of your own research based on some of the things. Like, I was so flattered today. The fact that one person, I ran into them on Telegram. John, give you a shout out, man. Thank you for always tuning in. I mean, I just call out DAP University in my channels, and then John went to DAP University and has enjoyed it and has brushed up his dev game for front ends and might be getting associated to a project. Like, right on, John. Networking through, like, I think that's what this is all about, getting smart people through to other smart people, getting everyone to connect so we can all make the best of ourselves. And that makes me really, really happy to see that, yeah, you went and used the DAP University that I called out to learn some Solidity. It is a really good, handy site, and there's a lot of free utility. If you want to pay for more, there is more, but the free stuff is plenty fine, the boot camps. So, yeah, there's a lot of resources out there for Web3 if you want to get more involved. And those are my side projects that I'm getting interested in, because Cookie Monster turned me on to Chia, and it sounds so ridiculous. I can't believe I say it out loud. People look at me so funny when I say this stuff out loud, like they think I've lost my mind. I'm sure that, you know, Cookie Monster's laughing right now about it. He doesn't watch my channel, but I'll make a comment about it later and he'll chuckle. Yeah, my best friend on Twitter is Cookie Monster. No, I've got so many friends in this community. I barely know him, but I'm getting to, and I know getting to know so many people I'm liking. I know I don't follow a lot of people on Twitter, good narcissist thing there, but I like a good clean feed. I get a streamlined source of information from certain people I follow, and some other stuff because I follow a few friends. And between that, I'm happy sorting this financial information and technical information to be able to come and tell you pretty quickly when, oh, there's been a hack. Oh, there's a new token. Like, I'm trying to act like a journalist a little bit. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm trying to bring good, accurate information quickly to people so that they can learn and make their own decisions. I'm not trying to be a financial advisor as much as just report on what's going on in the atmosphere. And yeah, I comment on stuff and I get excited and I do a little TI and some speculation, but it's all for entertainment. TA is garbage. The tea leaves tell me when something important might be happening, but they don't tell me for sure that this was happening. There was just as much of a chance that we might have been going down. So, life's funny the way it works out. It really is. And I'm glad I'm in crypto when I am. Web3 technologies, they're adapting, and we're building for the next bull run. Like, this is, the accumulation phase is not over. It's just getting a little hairier. It takes a little more fortitude maybe because Price might go up and then have a heavy correction, but it doesn't mean it's not coming back up. We're going to be all over the place. Look at Bitcoin and its history for an idea. Like, look at all 13 years of it on log, and start to get an idea how the chart moves in those cycles between the peaks of 3 to 4 years. And that's what I'm playing in these, because I like to look at the macro, not the micro. Me, all about me. I have to. It's the best way I can talk so that I don't get anyone in trouble. You don't have to do what I do, and I might be wrong. There's every chance of that, every time, because I have taken some pies getting into this. I'm new to this, and even if I wasn't, nobody can see the future. Everybody thinks they know an unknowable future is when the greatest opportunities exist. Thank you, Michael A. Garrett. Again, I'm following him on Twitter. He's got some interesting opinions. This is why I'm looking at lumber now, and whether it's trading opposed to gold. Like, there's some good information. Like, man, don't try to learn off Twitter. How much of this information have I got off YouTube and Twitter? Oh man, it is what it is. There is a lot of crap out there. It's taken a lot of sorting to get to this point where I feel as confident in looking at the market as I do, that I've invested as many things as I do, and that, you know, I call out short opportunities like I do. I said here, though, to still in danger that it might go higher. I was expecting a higher rally. It's almost fallen back into the channel. The bulls could use that as grounds for a double bottom. We'll see if the rally continues voraciously back up. But Apple and the big caps may be losing, but small caps are still fighting, hanging on, and rising. Melt-up's interesting. Like, not everything crashes all at once. It's staggered and fragmented. And it's one heck of a show. And oh yeah, we've crossed into a new day. We have. So now we get to see. Wait, dipped again, but new day, and things are still trending upwards. Wow, like, look at that. Just green candle after green candle after green candle. It can't be happening. Oh yeah, that's the disbelief phase. So BNB is calling BS on the bear market and saying it's over, and Ethereum seems to be following suit, and Bitcoin slowly is going, oh, okay, I better wake up too. Alright, it could be a false start. Like a false thaw. There could be another winter storm coming, another leg down, but maybe there's not. I'm glad I've been DCAing in and not aping in, and still trying to save a little dry powder for Pulse Chain's launch, because that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. Because it doesn't matter what your strategy is. What matters is your belief. Sometimes hope, because you need some hope to stay disciplined. And discipline requires hope, requires faith. Through the bad times, your strategy is still correct. That's why we flush out so many weak hands during the 9% downs. But just 10%, some of those people hang on. And they make it. Founders and holders, they make it. So, it doesn't matter what your strategy is. Don't lose faith in your strategy. Believe. Even if you're a huge Bitcoin maxi watching my channel, listening to me talk about the doom, believe in Bitcoin. Convince them to make a bloody roadmap and do something about the energy consumption for their chain. But yeah, if you have a strategy, believe in it. Stick to it. Because it's not the end of the world. Everything might be an anomaly right now, but some things are kind of saying, you know, we don't care. And I'm glad to be in the market, with time in the market, as well as timing it a little. But time in it is still more important overall. And this is the best time to get involved. So you feel justified always being in profit when you're buy years later. As opposed to buying a top when it looks really attractive and then trying not to sell it as you lose most of your money. Like I had to go through. Because it wasn't fun for me. So that's a personal recommendation not to do. Not as a financial advisor, but as, you know, mental therapy. It just sucks to watch all your money disappear. Or it did for me. But like I said, I'm not at a loss anymore. I'm just slightly at a profit. Not enough to take any profit, but at least enough to feel some dignity about my portfolio. Because it's not on fire, it's not smoldering, it's not even dented. It's freshly painted and waxed and smells like mint and pine. Wow. Like, yeah, it's crypto spring. I'm excited. So yeah, I hope this information has been helpful or entertaining for you guys. Well, I'm just rants about some things to do. Like, no, don't follow my advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Really not. No qualifications, no certifications. So you made it all the way to the end. You get a gold star. Thanks for being here, folks. And until next time, stay frosty.